Hello, welcome. Looks like we've got some packet loss. Uh-oh, not a good sign. Oh, well, let's get started and hope that that doesn't continue. We're going to be doing some game dev. We have a lot planned and we don't have a lot of time. Got this whole list. I think what I'm going to do is skip around. If something looks hard, I'm just going to move it because I want to start turning. I've got 4 things on this list marked as done. And, not as much time as I'd like. We're going to implement lock doors and keys. And also we're going to implement switches. Let me just add it here. Switch doors connected to switches and pressure plate. And then, time permitting, we'll add the look command, which is actually going to be very simple. It's just going to be a string. You say, I would like to see what this is, and this, aka everything, will have a string, and it'll just return that string. Look at this. This is a key. Great. That's all we need. Look at this. This is a health potion. Great. That's all we need. Look at this. This is a goblin. We don't have goblins. This is a skeleton. Great. Simple. There's a big list. Not enough time. Let's go. We have to first take a look at what we've got. I need to implement keys. That's actually the first thing I need to implement. And then I'm going to need to implement a new tile map layer thing. Right now, we only support one exit and one stairs up and one stairs down. And they connect to each other. And if we have more than one, the game crashes. And that sucks. And I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is have to implement a signal. And I'm going to put that on its own tile map layer, the signal tile map layer. And then we will put that signal on mechanisms, on items, and it will signal to them, hey, here's some special behavior that is unique to you. Not all keys unlock the same door. Not all doors are unlocked by all keys. This exit goes to this stairs up goes to this stairs down, so on and so forth. But we'll get to that after we implement items. Let's go to items. Got a new script to add. We're going to call this the key. Key. Take our key. Good. Hold on one second. How are we looking over here? I'm just checking my test stream. Yeah, looks good. Not seeing any signal loss. That's a good sign. Yeah, okay. We need this to be, it's just a simple object with one exception. It's going to have a state, and that state is actually going to be fixed, but it needs a state. One of these is the torch. The torch has the state. We'll take the state component from the torch. We'll copy it over. We'll say, congrats, you have a state. Your state is 0. Or actually, we don't need to add anything. We just need to have a state. And then when we receive a signal, then we can update our state with, yo. Oh, this doesn't actually need a key name, class name. I think it might. Stage 2 key. Okay, we need to go into the, we're going to need to add a new function here, receive signal, but, do I want that to be something that all items have to implement? I want signals, only a few things to be able to receive signals. I don't care if a torch receives a signal. I don't care if a sword, shield, health potion, maybe I do actually. Maybe we should just have a universal set signal function for all items. So we go here, we say abstract function set signal, and then we have to do the tedious thing of re-adding it to all our objects. And for most of them, it's going to do nothing. That's tedious. And we're going to have to do the same thing for mechanisms too. It makes more sense for mechanisms because most mechanisms are going to want to receive signals. Exits want to receive signals. I call them exits. I'm just going to call them exits forever. Doors, levers, because that's how we're going to communicate the intended behavior to levers, pressure plates, etc. So yeah, we'll do that in just a moment. Let me first add the key into the game. Go to the helpers, item spawn helper. Did you know that I probably have filled this up? And that's the items price. Okay. 02 can be key. Why isn't autocomplete kicking in? Don't worry about it. Let's put this... This can just be on the ground. It's just for testing purposes. There it is. Why is it lit? What? Did I copy too much? I copied the light component. Damn it. I meant to copy the state component. Oh, I look like an idiot. I thought I did copy the state component. This isn't the state component. Yeah, I grabbed the wrong one. Great. All right. That's what I meant to grab. Nope. There we go. Okay. Now we have a state component. Hello, key? Look at all these pointless errors. Why is this await? Does it need to be await? It probably does. Yes, it does. I don't remember why I wrote this. I definitely wrote this to debug something, but I don't remember why. And the key, we're sure the key doesn't work. And we have this invisible key now. All right. Okay, for whatever reason, this await doesn't work. Okay, I definitely did this for a reason, but what if I don't? I'm not seeing any errors. This is risky because I definitely put that there for a reason and I don't remember the reason. So I'm just gonna, I get to find out what the reason is through the power of trial and error. I think only the torch has the state component though. Is the only item. So if the torch still works, then we're good. Yeah. As far as I know, that still works. I'm not seeing any errors. And we got this key. The key works. Great. This pressure plate, I drew some art. It's whatever. It works. Could be better. What else? What couldn't? This still works. Right-clicking this doesn't do anything, which as it should. Okay. We've implemented the key. Hopefully. Okay. Actually, before I proceed, I do want to extend this because... Oh, I never copied that behavior over to the state component. All right, never mind. We're good. Let's go ahead and implement signals now. We need to make a new tile map layer. Tile map layer. Signals. I need to create a thing, don't I? I need to create the tile map. I don't want to create an atlas because I just don't have like the images set. Maybe this is the time where I make a scene collection. The problem with making a scene collection is I can't programmatically edit the scenes. So I can't be like, here's the health potion. It contains potion 1. Here's a health potion that contains potion 2. Here's a health potion that contains potion 3. I have to make each and every one of those a separate scene in order to add it to this list. So if I want to have 16 different potions, 16 different possibilities of potions, which I'm just going to have a potion object, and then I'm just going to have a string that's like, what are your contents? I'm not going to implement 16 different items just to make potions work. But if I do that, I have to make 16 different scenes to make that happen here. But maybe that's not a problem for signals because signals are not complicated. I don't think so. There might have been like a multiplayer purpose, a multiplayer problem with using scene collections as well. That shouldn't matter here because signals should all be server-side and connecting to state components. Or how are my ladders recognizing where their exit is? Do they have a set flag function? That's meaningless. They have an exit handler. Okay, well, I see previously I had a state component here. I might have to have a state component. No, I do want to have this be an exit handler. Maybe I should have a signal handler just to upgrade this to signal handler. And then I need to call it something other than signals because signaling is something in Godot. Property? No. State? No. Marker? Flag handler? Flag. I like that. Flags. We can make this the flag handler instead of the exit handler. But it can keep the exit registry. We're just changing the name. And then we... basically, this thing is in charge of when we set a flag on a key and we set a flag on a door, those two objects get in touch with each other so they can figure out who should be unlocking who. That's basically the only thing I'm after. I'm going to rename this to flags, even though that might not be super clear what that means. It's fine. We can have, we can just make a folder of flags. This is not data. This is create new folder flags. And flags are the kind of thing that they exist on startup, and then we throw them away. I suppose that's kind of heavyweight for what I'm trying to do. Make a scene, make a node for every flag, and then throw it away immediately. Whatever. Don't try to optimize. Not yet. All this babbling, no code being written. Just shut up and code. Let's go. I need to rename this exit handler. I'm going to actually rename it here first. Flag handler. Done. It's not even named. Let's rename it. All right. Let's go to the ladder. We need to rename this to the flag handler. And we'll fix this because this is all hard coded to do. Make this not dumb. There we go. We have license to leave that as it is for now because we'll fix it later. We need to create a why do I have an unregister exit function? That's weird. How about lock key registry? String array. Why is it an array? Why did I do that? Hold on. The string is the name. I called it a channel. Great. The string is the name of the channel. And the second thing is the actual everything belonging to that channel. Okay, I get it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. If there's no array, set the array where the exit is the only member of that array. Else, oh, we're getting the array. Okay, we're getting the array. If the array has two or more things, less than two things in it, okay, I see what I'm doing. Which is this is junk. This is big junk. And I guess I wrote unregister exit just in case we have exits that want to die. Sure. Do I do that? No, we never unregister the exit. Actually, there's an easier way to tell it. Yeah, we never call that function. I wrote a function that never gets called. Great. Func register lock key. Channel name string. Channel name string. Yo, hey, Misha Strafe. How's it going? This is going to be a mechanism. 100% always mechanisms. No, that's not true. That's not true because keys are not mechanisms. They're items. So, this needs to not be cast lock key, but we'll call it a lock key. So it needs to either be an item or a mechanism. Yeah, that's fine. Does that really matter? Yeah, it's fine. Var array equals lock key registry dot get lock. Nope, channel name. Why can't I spell channel? If there's no array, lock key registry dot set channel name lock key. Else lock key registry dot nope array dot append lock key. And then I probably need to do something where Uh, why am I registering these? It suddenly occurs to me, I don't need to do this. I can just have the signal connect to a door or a key and say, yo, here's your channel. I don't need to register it. What if we just frickin' comment this out? We'll come back to this. Nope, not like that. There is a world where we need this function, but we don't need it yet. If we come to a situation where we're like, I need to know who everyone is, every door and every key on this channel. If we get to that situation, then sure. But in the absence of that, let's go back to, we're defining flags. We've got this flag thing. And I will say, if it was possible to declare a flag scene, like just here, let me just actually just do that. Flag. Call it flag. If it was possible to declare a script that's like export channel name. If it was possible to do that and then go over here and say, why is this complaining? Var channel name, sorry. Then we go back to the main, and then we say here, I would like to add a scene. Good news, here it is. I just invented it. Sorry, I've never used the scene collector before, so I don't actually know how to do it. Add scenes in the tile set bottom tab. Got it. Okay. Just kidding. That's not what I wanted. Drag and drop. Yeah, if it was possible to click on this and then go to the export and be like, my channel is 4 or my channel is Tuesday. In here, this would be invaluable to me. I can set the name. The name. Oh, I'm naming the scene collection. That's not useful. Display placement. This is a packed scene. I can set the ID. If I could attach some metadata on a unique basis, perfect. But we can't do that. So we need to basically create a scene for every channel that we want. And that's clunky. I don't think I need this script though. No, I do actually, because I need to define the channel name. There's no like string. Can I just attach a string to, I really don't want to do this because it feels so inelegant. Having to spam out a bunch of scenes. And I can't set a sprite for this. I don't want to set a sprite on this because that's heavy. If I'm like, if I have to do this, now we have to load every sprite when we start the game. And that's annoying. Okay, tile with invalid scene. What? Why is that invalid? What? Invalid pack scene for tile set scenes collection source. Root node should extend canvas item found node instead. What is that? Why? Why is that the case? Okay, we can't use a node. It has to be a node 2D. Ah, because we're putting it in the world. It has to exist somewhere. Got it. Okay, whatever. That makes this even heavier weight than I'd like. Okay, I get it. I goofed. Can I get some grace, please? Let's try again. There's our flag. Why is it? Where's my sprite? You want me to just... That's not even how you do it. Oh, I don't think that's how that's supposed to work. Okay, how do I make the sprite here? Material? Nope. Uh, I would really love to be able to just... I'm just wishing so hard that I could just set a little metadata here. Right click here, put the sprite here. All right, hold on. I'm gonna actually we're gonna do a little Googling. We're gonna learn a little. Google.com. I'm gonna open it up on this monitor first. Scene, Godot 4.6 scene, collection, add sprite to scene. Sprite and sprite 2D in scene collection. As a source in your tile set. Isn't that what I did? I'm confused. Isn't that what I did? Where's my sprite? The problem isn't that I want the sprite to show up here. I actually don't care about the sprite here. I want the sprite to show up here because I need to be able to communicate to my future self what flag I'm setting here. And I want to do that with a picture. I don't want to do that with flag 7, flag 8, flag 9. Like, that's painful. Godot scene collection tutorial. Where's the Godot one? Tile map. Okay, I don't want to read this. I actually want to read the docs. Let's see how. Reordering layers, selecting tiles. Scene collection. Yeah, look, there's a little tiny baby image up here. How do I get that? And also not have it be baby. Where's my scene? What if I make this a sprite 2D? We don't need this. That's not how you do that. Nope. Do not move this. There we go. Okay. Save. Where's my sprite? Why? I can make this unique. What is that? What did I just do? Undo. Okay. Edit. Load. Oh, what does this mean? I don't entirely understand. Where am I right now? Can I add these? Am I winning? What? What is this? Why are these tiles with invalid scenes now? Make unique. What have I done? Edit. Edit. Local to scene. Path is nothing. Okay, what does scenes collection make unique do? Godot scenes collection make unique. What does it do? I don't know. How do you use? This is dumb. I'm just gonna not do it. I don't particularly follow. These need to be 32 by 32. We're just gonna figure out. I adjusted the wrong thing. Where's the thing that I set? No. There's a thing somewhere where I set how big each tile is, and it's currently set to 16 by 16. Is it here? Ah, here it is. Yeah. That's just painful because I want scene collections to make sense, but I just can't find any world where they work. Like, I don't want to have to make 40 scenes, and if I do make 40 scenes, I should at least get the dignity of a sprite. No, I'm mad, but let me actually try one more time. No, the scenes have no sprite. None of that is true. This is not visible. This is not visible. This is a sprite 2. It is a sprite 2D. Because the collection is simply pointing to ATSCN file, you must assign its visuals manually within the tile set or directly in the base. Open the tile set bottom panel and select your scenes collection source. Look at the specific scene in your list. Look at the inspector on the right side and find the texture property. There it is. I can either inherit filter or inherit repeat. What is drag your sprite? Whatever, just do what works. Here we go. We're going to need to make a flag helper. Flag helper's job is to take an atlas parameter and give us a flag. What is the ID param? Why am I taking that in? What is this? Oh, I'm not even taking it in on the other ones. That's just an item specific thing. Okay. There's probably a reason for that. I don't know what it is though. Maybe because I wanted to have multiple item sheets and I wanted to be able to say, this is Atlas Sheet 1, Atlas Sheet 2, Atlas Sheet 3. That's probably what it was. Don't worry about it. We can just get rid of that for now. Okay, signal 0. We want to return, I don't want to have a scene, a flag scene. That's not unnecessary. Remove, get that out of here. But we can have a flag. We can just spawn a flag, give it the signal 0 or 1. We can just give it the atlas coordinate. We could just give it the atlas coordinate. That's actually not terrible. Could I just pass the atlas coordinate directly to the exit handler? The flag handler, actually. If I do that, I don't even need this. I could just pass the atlas coordinate directly and make that the key. Why not? Why shouldn't I do that? Let's try that. Let's try that. Not only do we not need this anymore, I don't even need the flag spawn helper. We don't need this. What we will do is we will get the go back to main. When we call spawn starting this, we'll spawn flag, starting flags. We'll go down to oh, this is going to be a nightmare to refactor when we have to add in multiple maps to the game. I'm going to take that. Why is it complaining? Oh. Apparently that's not allowed. Didn't know that. We for flag in flag map dot get used cells. We are going to call it would be nice to reference a helper function. Get thing at my location. It's either an item or a mechanism. Is there a way for me to... Do I have that information in my object handler? I mean, there is. I can just get the item list. I don't have a mech list. Ooh. I definitely want a mech list. Let me, how am I populating this? Mobs will just add themselves when they're created, and I assume items will too. Oh, we just never call this? Great. We have this add item function, never happens. So, I don't want to have to just iterate through all items and say, what's your position? What's your position? What's your position? I don't want to have to iterate through all mechanisms and say, what's your position? What's your position? What's your position? But I don't know how else we can do this other than with like a raycast. We can do a raycast at a location and go, are there any items at this specific location? Is that raycasts are not that expensive. It's cheaper than going through every item and going, are you here? Are you here? Because that's what a raycast is doing, but a raycast is doing it smarter. How do we do a raycast at a specific location? Hmm. Hold on, I'm thinking. Oh, I could raycast, or I could uh let me just do raycast because I've never done them before. And also I'm thinking about like getting rid of these because I never use them. Let me just do mob list. Do we ever use that function? We do. Wow. We've got the combat handler looking at every mob and saying, are you in range? We can't, that can't be a long-term solution. Item lists. We never use that. Player list? There's probably value in having a player list, even if we don't use it for collision checks or anything like that. We use it for the combat handler. Okay. I mean, we could make that list, and then we could just check it with every signal for every signal. Maybe we could keep that list sorted somehow. That would make it very quick. Um. Hmm. Let's just make this signal because we've already done that. Let's not do the raycast thing. Func add mech. Okay. We need to go into items and make this actually register itself every time we create an item. And then we need to make the same thing happen in mechanisms. Do I not have a ready function? Maybe I should also have object handler dot remove self. Okay. We can do the same in mechanisms. Should I have the same thing in mobs too? When a mob dies, it removes itself. Okay, good. Mechanisms. When a mechanism dies, it removes itself. Great. Cool. Now we have that function. We can go back to main and we can say, hey, you're a flag. Get every item, get every mech, compare it to where you are. For item in object handler. Nope. Item list. Yeah, but we're not checking that first. We're checking the mechs first. if mech.position equals flag.position. Is that how that works? Then mech.setFlag. Flag. Dot. I need to pass in get cell atlas coordinates. Is that right? What does this contain? This is a 2i. This is a vector 2i. What does this contain? Is this does this contain the coordinates of where this thing is? Map to local mechanism. Do I need to turn the map to local? Ah, that's probably what I need to do. Flag map to local flag. Print true. We're at the same location as 0.0 format bump mech. Let's go back over here. I would like this to be in the same position. Why don't I see my mechanisms? Wow. Let's put it on there. Did I do it? No. Did I do it now? No. Oh, because I'm erasing. There we go. There we go. Okay. Invalid function get cell atlas coordinates. Oh, I forgot to invent this function. That's fair, but this function doesn't exist? Get cell atlas coordinates? Did I misspell it? Oh, atlas chords. What am I saving? No, don't save that. Get this out of here. Don't save. It doesn't exist anymore. Gone. Let's comment that out because that's gonna crash. We're at the same location as 3mech. Excellent. We've sent the signal. Oh, and the thing is still there. We should not have that be there. Didn't I have a thing that set the visibility of everything to not be visible? Oh, yeah. Okay. Right, so we've successfully sent the signal 0, 0 to this chest. We want to send the signal to this key and this door. Okay, and we need it. Now we get to do the tedious part of, boy, this is just not progressing at all. We're an hour in and I'm still just like, I don't know what to do. tedious stuff. Let's go. Item data. We need to add a new function. Receive signal. What did I actually name it? Set flag. Channel is an atlas. No, vector 2i. Okay, and then we do the same for our mechs. And then Godot is going to really yell at us. There's nothing on the clock other than your time. Relax, enjoy subscription-free freedom. Well, eventually the sun's going to set, and then I'm in trouble. But I appreciate the sentiment. We're going to set this flag. Pass. We're going to be adding a lot of this. Maybe I should be adding it down here after the init. It's too late. I've already added it there, but going forward. Okay, and if we run. Oh. It has to pass in the mechanism itself or the item itself because, yes, that's of course. Yeah, I'm glad I did that because that's a good correction. Item, channel. There we go. Sorry, that's mechanism. Okay, let's start over. Oof, okay, cut this out. Bum, 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 bum. Adding flags to every piece of code. What is this? Oh, I'm passing in a flag, an int, but we have been promoted to vector 2i. What? Wait, no, this isn't. I'm gonna need to rethink that. Oh, hold on. Let me add the flags to all the other mechanisms first, and then we'll come back to this, because we do need to fix this. You get nothing, and you're not a mechanism. Okay. This is still broken, but we can, now that we have the power of flags on our side, we can go to where the ladders are and we can just stick a flag on it. And it'll work. And then we have to go back here. Instead of setting the exit here, mech.connected exit. That's really a thing? Oh. Oh, that's gross. No, I shouldn't do that here. We have an exit. We have a flag handler. The flag handler should handle that. We're done with, we're going to make this not dumb, as promised. We are going to not do this in the init. We're going to do this in the set flag. And this is actually not going to be a dir. It's going to be a flag vector 2i. Okay. And then we're not going to do any of this. But there is a use function that we need to fix. How are we? Oh, it's up here at the top. Let's just comment this out and make this a pass. So what we can do is we can just go to the flag handler dot get exit. Self. We pass in our self. We need to track which channel we're on. Okay. So mechanisms and items. Can have a flag vector 2i instead of declaring that, putting that in the state. Or should I put that in the state? I think because I made a function, I'm going to have to make another function here, but I think because since we made this function that is abstract, let's make this a flag vector 2i, and then we'll go to the ladder and we'll say, hey, get connected exit self self dot or no mech. Sorry, mech. We can just pass the mech. And then that position. And then we just need to make this function exist. Why is this not sending me to the flag handler? Hello? Why is this? We have a flag handler for a reason. Get exits. How about instead of that function, we do get connected exit? Oh, this has to be a mechanism. Yes, we can't have an item exit. Exit param mechanism. Get if, okay, exit param dot flag else assert false. Oops, no exit. Oops, not an exit. Okay, if we have the flag, then we need to get the exit registry. Var exits equals exit registry dot get exit param. This will give us an array. Sorry. Dot flag. This will give us an array. This is not actually, channel names are not strings anymore. They've been promoted to vector 2i's. And then one of the exits is the exit that we passed in, and we need to return the other one. So is there a way to do that? Array Godot array get object get other object in array. Filter. That's perfect. Get all objects except the current object. Item.filter func item return item not current object. Does that work? Use the loop better for performance. Oh yeah, we could do that. We could just do a for loop on a thing that has two things in it. Are your items resources or your own fancy construct? They are a thing I made and they have a resource. They contain an item data object. But there's an item class that I made. Okay. For exit and exits. If exit is not the exit param, return exit. We should have this return a mechanism. There we go. We go back to the ladder. I think we need to... We got the register exit function. What was this? What I could do is I could do a get exits here, and if the number of exits I get back is 1, then we set the number of exits that we get back should be the frame. I don't understand why I'm doing this, because the way that I've done this for mechanisms is each of these is its own sprite. So I don't know what setting the frame is even doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Mech.mechSprite.frame equals dir. Great. You know what I could do instead of that is I could have the item spawn helper, mechanism spawn helper. We're already doing that. We're already passing in. We're a top or a bottom. Okay, not that. Bottom. Okay, get mech data. What's that function doing? We're passing it to spawn mechanism. Cool, I misclicked, so we don't get the thing that we want. We go here, spawn mechanism, calls this function. This function, we're passing... What? Where am I? No, I want to go to this function. I don't want to go to... Look at this. Frickin'... Whatever. Here's spawn mechanism. It takes in a variant. We're passing in the data param. We're setting the flag. Ooh, that's what we're calling set flag? Oh. Oh no. Okay, so the flags do something different than I thought. This isn't setting the exit. This is setting the additional little data bit for the sprite to be correct. I need to be able to manage this, but I shouldn't call this the flag. I should call this something else. Set aux. Yeah, let's do that. And then we need to go in our thing. Set aux. And then I need to take the code that I just deleted and make it real again. Data int. Okay, there we go. Okay, we fixed that. I think, theoretically, maybe, I don't know. We register the exit. That's it. We're done, actually. Wait, that's it. We don't need to do anything else. This should work. That should work. The only thing that we're missing, nothing. We're not missing anything. Everything's great. I haven't hit the join button. We're just gonna, why are we moving slow? Okay, weird. I need to profile my game now. We're not at the stage where performance should be a problem. Oops, this shouldn't happen. What? Did we never set the param for the flag? Oh yeah, no, I didn't. That's smart. Mech dot flag equals flag param. Smart. All right. Cool. Let's run to the exit. Move. Assertion failed. We still don't have the exit param. Are you sure? Because we're setting it here. This is a thing. I'm not making this up. Oh, we probably never calling this function. That's probably the problem. Yeah, we need to finish. We need to finish. Oh. Oh yeah, I'm just printing. And then I have the actual function commented out. Great. Oh, and this is calling a function that doesn't exist. So we need to go to the mech. Mech data dot set flag self flag param. Now we're done. Now we're good. Now we're good. Jump to the gun. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I jumped the gun. I really jumped the gun. Can I go back to the error? Unexpected indent in body. That's because I don't have a colon. Why is it complaining? Could not resolve external. It's not complaining. It's just the editor's a little slow. Me too. Me too. All of this just to make ladders continue to work. Still broken? We're still not setting the flag? Are you kidding me? Print. We're setting the flag. Self. Oh, we're setting the flag. Why are we setting the flag so much? Oh, because I have it set on the treasure chest. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, we're setting the flag. You know what I could do? The flag variable is right here. So I could, when you set flag, we'll set it for free, and then we'll call mech data. Right? Could do that, and then we don't have to do this. That's just assumed. Like, we can just assume that we always want to do that. Are we calling register exit? Why does this take me here? Does this look like the flag handler? Okay, we're registering an exit on 0, 0, 0 mech, and 1 mech. Okay, those are set. This should be good. Why is this not working? This has a flag. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is 0, 0 null? Or does 0, 0 count as false? Is it because the flag is 0, 0? Frickin' unbelievable. Your flag is 0, 0. I've never heard of that. That's not a real flag. That was the problem. Okay, let's get these prints out of here that I just faffed all over the place. We've registered the exit. We don't have lock keys registered yet, but that's where we're going next. We need to have that set up. Let me get the flag on this chest out of here because that's no good. We're going to need to put a thing on here, and then I'm just going to put the door next to it. Sorry, I just had a moment. Mechanisms. We don't have any print lines here? I thought we did. About in here. No print lines. Print rich, then toggle them all off with find replace comment. I mean, I could do that. True, we're at the same location. It's fine. Comment that out. Let us, actually, we need to implement this item.position equals flag map to local flag item.set flag map get cell atlas chords flag. And then we go to items. We go to items. We go to items. Then we make this function that I just invented real. Okay. And then we go into keys, because that's the, no, let's go into doors first, because we want to be able to set, we want to be able to lock the door. We will need to add an additional state component, lock. If we have a, we'll set it to lock 0. And if we get a signal, if we get a flag, then we'll change it to 1. Oh, yeah, and I need to define that. Okay. And then set flag, we'll just set locked to 1. Okay, and then at this point, we need to say, oh, also, no, we should set the open property to 0. Yeah, and then up here, we need to say if sc dot get int property locked, we need to check the user's inventory. Do you have a key that has the same flag? And we can call the flag handler and say, give me all of, so first of all, we can register this lock key. And then we can get all the lock keys, get lock keys. What do you mean lock key registry? Get declared. We don't really need to do this. I don't know what I'm doing. We don't need to do that. All we need to do is go through the player's inventory, say, are you a key? Is your flag set to the same flag as me? How do we tell if something is a key? Because maybe that's with a class name. I was deleting the class names because I don't think that's a particularly healthy way to do that on the resource level. Oh, shoot. I just erased them all. Also, actually, let me... Does my inventory component check for that? Oh no, we're looking at the global name. What? We can do that? I mean, yeah, that's great. Let's do that. That's way better. If it's a key and it has the same flag as us, then we unlock, otherwise we don't. So you have to be holding the key in your inventory in order to unlock the door. So we'll need a new function in the inventory component that's like check inventory for, and then we pass in a key. How does this, does this still work? Because isn't this the class name actually? Now that I think about it. Get global name. That is the class name. Damn it. We were using that. I'm so bad. Let's just, I'll fix that offline. Let's fix this right now. Okay. Yeah, we don't have to actually set the flag. We can just, or we don't have to do anything. We can just have that. And then just by this being in our inventory, we can go to the door and we can say, if I'm locked, first of all, does that work? Then return. Did I forget to lock it? Oh, that's because I have not put the door. Let's put a door right in front of the key. Yeah. And then let's lock it. Okay. It's locked. We can't open it. We can't get this key, and this key is configured, but it doesn't do anything yet. But we're just going to invent a function, and then that function is going to bail us out. We go to the door and we say, hey, door, check play. We have the player who's clicking on us. So we have that information. Thanks, past me, for setting that up. This is not the door. Off by 1. We go here, we say user dot, give me the user's inventory component. Var IC equals object handler dot get inventory component user. If IC dot var keys equals IC dot get all items keys. Is that the function that I want? I want to be able to search the inventory for items, but I don't know if that's long-term what I want. Get all items. Search for items. Maybe that's fine, and then I'll have a search for item, which is a different function. Search all items for. Okay. We're passing in a string. We'll go to the inventory component. Can't believe I have to click like that to get there, but it's fine. We'll define a new function. Func, search all items for, item, name string. Okay, and then somewhere here I have and this needs to return an array. Var ret array equals blop. Return array is there. Then we need to for item in item slot, because we have all the items up here. Item slots. Where did, okay. If equals item name ret array dot append items slot what? Oh, okay, I see what I did. I'm here. We'll call these slots. The slot is the inventory slot. The slot contains an item slot. The item slot is an item. It's not an item slot. Okay. If slot dot item slot object handler dot get inventory component. Search, then this will return an array, and we need to append it. How do we append array? That's the function. Thank you. Okay. So we have a return array. We go through all of our item slots. We look at each item in the item slot, and if its item data matches what we're looking for, add it to the array. If the item has a inventory component, search through it, add it to the array. Hopefully that's not too expensive of a function. We do that, then we go to the door. We have the keys. For key in keys. If key, these are items, dot flag equals mech dot flag. Then we're good. We did it. We can break. Else, if none of those are true, then we should return. How can I represent that cleanly in code? I mean, what I could do, it's kind of silly, but what I could do is function toggle door. And then take this function and we put it here. Okay. Why do I have two prints? It's probably because I never actually made when I was last working on the door, it wasn't functional, and I probably had those prints there to try and make it functional. The only reason the door works now is an accident. I didn't do that. How does this not have an item data? There's no item data? Slot. Oh, that's right. Some of these slots are empty. If slot dot item slot and why is it slow all of a sudden? Let me just freaking, should I just turn this? I'm smart. Okay. We can't toggle this because it's locked, but we get this key. Now we can toggle it. It works. And if we drop the key, suck it. And if we don't have the key, we can't close it. Is that the behavior I want? That's not intuitive, but maybe it's fine. I mean, like, a more intuitive thing would be like, I would like to do this to unlock the door. Oh, that's not a bad idea. Use item on item. Hey, you know what? And then we can refactor this again. Great. I'm not going to do that. Or I'm running out of steam. Running out of brain power to write code. So I'm just going to let that be. Say that works. I mean, it does work. And then we're going to attach functionality to make a door be manipulatable with a lever. And all that means is okay. Okay. We could set this up to where when we pull this lever, we could set it up, have it reach out, connect, make it a key, get the lock keys, look for all doors that are on the same channel as it, and then when we pull it, it'll just go to each and every door and call the use function. And if we did that, we'd be set. But unfortunately, users are actors and mechanisms are not actors. So we might need to define another function. Okay. Could we... We could have like a mech use function. And then the mech use function, it's basically identical to use, except the mechanism is... another mechanism is a user. We could do that. That would be a simple way to solve this. And also, that'd be relatively flexible. We might have to copy and paste some logic. But I think it'll be clean enough. Yeah, let's make a mech use function. Where's my mech data? There it is. All right, abstract func mech use. All right. And then we copy that, and then we have to add it to every mechanism. Great. Pass. We need to declare the state component. Okay. I need to keep going. Ladders, mech use, that doesn't make any sense. That's, wow, I failed to copy. If we mech use on a lever, we can toggle the lever. Sure. That might be nonsense, but we'll go with that for now. This can just be a pass. So we can set the signal, and we'll have the lever. If we set a flag, we can register a lock key, and then we'll call on use, we'll say, does this contain a flag? And if it does, are there other doors listening? Are there other mechanisms listening on this channel? And if so, call mech use on them. We don't want to mech use ourselves. That's silly. Yeah. Okay. So we do need to register the mech key. We do need to register the lock key. This is the point where registering the lock key makes perfect sense. Flag handler, here's this function that I now need. So or do I? Maybe I shouldn't call these lock keys. These are just connected mechanisms. Yeah, let's call them connected mechanisms. Let's call them gears. Okay, so the lever, we will have the lever register. It's gear itself as a gear, and then we will. Do we have to have the door register itself as a gear? Oh. Oh, shoot. I guess we kind of do. Yeah, that's fine. We'll have the door. This is also a lock and a gear. And that will make sense to future me. And if it doesn't make sense to you, don't worry about it. We will go ahead, go to the door. Did we set a flag? Let's set a flag handler dot set register gear. We need to pass in the channel and the mech on ourselves. All right. And then we'll do the same for levers. Register gear. Channel mech. I probably should have reversed those. Oh well. It's not too late. Here it is. Okay. Reverse those, please. Okay, now we go to the lever, and now we go, hey. When I get used. I probably want to pass along the property. I probably want to pass along an int too with this mech use so that I can synchronize what the status should be. Yeah. Oh god, we gotta modify this. Status int. Okay. We're all good. We're all ready to... Okay, we need to... If we have a... First of all, check, do we have a flag? Mech.flag is not null. Then we need to go to the flag handler. .get gears mech.flag. This will return an array. It will. And then for gear in gears, if gear is not us, gear.mechUse gear self. Nope. Mech. And then sc.get int property on. Okay, we're done. We could have doors do the same thing. If it's connected, if you open one locked door, it'll open all locked doors. Smart. Non-existent function mechUse in base. Static body 2D mechanism. Right. I didn't define that function. I'll do that right now. Okay, and then let's go back and we need to update this function because that's good. Okay. Did I connect them already? I can't remember. And then if I grab this, shouldn't they be desynced? Oh. I call toggle door, but actually it should be set int property to status. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So we can connect doors. We can If we connect doors, they're locked. I guess that's fine. Okay. Well, let's just do it for pressure plates, and then we're done, which is easy because we just take the logic for levers and we just copy it over to pressure plates. Okay. Let's go ahead and go to the thing. Shouldn't this be registering itself? Did I? Yeah, let's have that happen. I need to go over here. We need to actually put that signal on the pressure plate. I don't know where it is. Okay. Oh, what? Trying to return a value of type nil from a function whose array is it? Type is array. Come on. Just because it has a vector 0, 0 doesn't mean it's null. How is it your registry 0? That shouldn't be. There should be something registered. Let me see that again. Like this works. Why does this not work? Show me the flag handler. That's this. Yeah, this is empty. Is this a server client thing? Is this a server client issue? It shouldn't be. This should all be happening on the server. Collisions are all server side. Why is this empty? Okay, first of all, this does have a flag, right? Yeah, we're passing it in. We're passing in 0, 0. How are there no exits? Okay, let's debug. Let's look at this. Put that over here. We're going to look at our flag handler. Our flag handler says there are no exits. What if we look over here? No? What if we look over here? There's one. An array of size 2. Not an array of size 3? Just 2? Something missing. I'll be right back. While I think, I'll be just right back. Oh, okay. Nope, it's not clicking. Why isn't this working? Gonna drink some water. We should have 3 things on this channel. We're registering 14 mech and 15 mech, but not 16 mech. Right? That's weird. There's a 16 mech, right? Oh no. Okay, so it's 13 mech. Is this the pressure plate? This is the pressure plate. Why is this not getting registered? Let me look at the code that's supposed to be doing that. Zero mech, 1 mech, 14 mech, and 15 mech. Why is 13 mech not? Am I just off by 1? Did I just do something stupid? Yeah, okay, I'm just off by 1. I see. Yeah, okay, because... Huh. Wait, no. Yeah, no, that still crashes. That's not right. Put down multiple keys and doors. I don't... That's not... I don't know what that's going to solve. I just need to figure... I need to figure out why this is not being detected by my pressure plate. It occurs to me, this might be correct because there's only 2 mechanisms. The other one's an item, so it actually wouldn't get called. This print. Your precious plate. We need this to... Is 14 and 15, are they... actually what I think they are? Yeah, okay, 15 is the pressure plate and 14 is the door. So it is getting registered, but I'm missing something. Am I... Okay. Do I have a bug in my flag handler? Because it should just be appending the array, but what if it isn't? Registering gear at channel name? Yeah, this is what I was worried about. So we're just appending this to this array, but is that actually making its way into the dictionary? Do I have to re-add it to the dictionary? Because I didn't do that up here, but it works up here. So I would expect it to work out down here. Print array. 14 mech and 15 mech. They're in there. They're both in there. We're good. Why is this not working? 14 and 15 are in there. What are we returning? GearRegistry.get channel name. If I look at the flag handler, if I look at it on the server, no, this isn't the server. This is the server. There's 0 and 1. That's the door. And that's the pressure plate. They're connected. If I call for this array, I should get two things back. Do I have something going on where the pressure plate is both server side and client side? Am I doing that? I thought I set this component up to delete itself if it was on the client. Oh, I didn't do that. Okay, that's the problem. We don't care. Just stop existing. It's always sus when that happens. Hey, it works. All right, that was the problem. The problem was that the collisions were client side, and they don't need to be. It was working the whole time. Now, the way we've set this up is not very useful in practice because as soon as we get off the pressure plate, the door closes, so I'm not even sure if we can get through this door. We need to rethink how pressure plates work. We need to put them on a delay, on a timer, or something, but the way that this is set up right now, not useful, but this does technically satisfy my mission. Done. All right. Do I have the spoons to add the look command? I hope so. Let's do it, and then I should take that as a win. We go. Terrible humor. He tolerates the worst. Yes, I do. I will go ahead and where are my commands? So I think I made a command. Look. No, I didn't. Create new command. Look command. This is going to be a very simple command. All we do is we have a target. That target's going to have a look function. Actually, I think we want to have a look function and a quick look function. Both of those just return a hard-coded string. And then we print that out to the player that looked. Done. Let me get look command. Right. Target doesn't have to be an actor, it can be anything. Oops. Is that going to be a problem? Can we just pass literally anything to an RPC handler and it'll be able to figure out? Maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe we should have like a look object, look mob, look mechanism command. Oh, no, it's fine. Because we can just call get node. And then if it exists, because we need to be able to look at the floor. We need to be able to look at tiles on the floor. And I haven't really thought about if I right click. Oh, we don't get that option. Oh, that's because I'm not shift. Okay, shift right click should give us a look of the floor. You see floor. You see door. You see key. You see pressure plate. You see thing. You see player. You see door. This doesn't have a node. This is just the tile map layer. Oh, how am I going to do that? We can do ourselves the courtesy of passing in the type. So we can say, is this an item? Let's pass in the string item via RPC. And then the RPC can go, I see the string item. I'm going to assume this is an item. Look accordingly. We can just limit it to items, objects, mobs, players, or actors. Items, objects, and actors. Items, mechanisms, and actors. And everything else, we'll just say look unimplemented. How am I gonna do look on this? There's a collision here, so I can click on it, but there's no collision here, straight up. What am I clicking on? This is the tile map layer. Okay. I should be able to say either it is a item, it is a mob, it is a actor, no, item, mechanism, actor. If it's none of those things, let's do a raycast at this location. And then, no, we don't even need to do a raycast. We have the global position. Let's get the global position and then tell the server what's at this global position. And then I can just go to the tile map layer and say, hey, what's at this global position? And the tile map layer can fill us in and give us the look command for whatever tile is at that location. Yes, that would work. That means that this command needs to take in either a target type, which is a string, or a vector. It could just be a variant. You could just do like type param. Either actor, mechanism, item, or vector to position on TML. Okay. to go to the RPC handler and make this a function. Func look target. Target ID, target type. If target type equals actor, elif target type equals item, elif target type equals mechanism, else okay. We just need to probably call send message. In all three of these cases, we're just calling get node. Do I need to send the target type then in that case? I probably don't. I don't know. This is ugly now. There's a function around here that I can RPC to send the message back to the player. Submit chat to clients. Submit chat. No. Send response code? What? Emit signal response code. Send chat to clients. Oh, I can just RPC send chat to clients, but only send it to the player. So target.look. Get look. Quick look. Let's do just quick look. What was it? Send chat to clients.rpc ID peer ID. What is the target ID? No. Get sender player node. Get remote sender ID. There we go. Okay, so now we need a quick look function in our actor, items, and mechanisms. Okay. Okay. Do I really need to have this in here? Sure. Okay. Okay. All right. I need to just cram this out. I can just do that offline. To do add the look. And then we can call that done. But for now, let's just only have doors be something we can look at. Everything else, screw it. If we try and look at anything else, we can crash. Okay. That's the wrong button. Great. There we go. Look unimplemented. Where is that function actually happening? In the right-click menu. That makes sense. We can go ahead and update this function because it exists now. Print look on target. Where's my target? This actually will tell me my target? Okay. Can I verify that? Look on 14 mech, yes. Look on 55 item. Look on null. Look on 2 mech. Look on 13 mech. Look on 303 66893. Yeah, okay, yeah. Let's make a new command. Look command. Dot new. Input handler dot player target. Uh-oh. If target is actor, our target type. This feels dumb. Okay. That should be it. We should be done. What happens if we look at this door? You see a door. It's there, of course. It's not anywhere smart. Look unimplemented here. What? But I'm an actor. You see... I don't have a name, do I? I didn't set a name for myself. Yeah, instant crash. That's totally fine. We're going to say that's... Good, done after to do. We'll do the to do. Then we'll say that's done. And then we'll move on with our lives. I will call that victory. We need to implement the use item on item command. I think we can put this off. We can put this off. Maybe I shouldn't though. We can implement that so that we can use keys on doors instead of just, does the key exist in your inventory? Good enough for me. I think that's less intuitive than you have to physically drag the key onto the door to unlock it. And then we need to add a sprite for like, this door is locked versus this door is unlocked. So you get responsiveness when you do that. But we can do that. That's not a problem. We'll need to, this is not going to be simple. So I feel like this can be all of tomorrow, and that's fine. But just in case we have time, we can implement water tiles. We can implement item stacking. and I think that'll be good. Oh, implementing a walking hazard. We have all the tools to do that, so that'll be quick. Monster respawning, no auto walking. Targeting GUI. Saving and loading. Ooh. Okay. The rest of these are pretty painful. It's fine. This is where I stop. Next time we'll do this. And then it'll be Steam Next Fest, and I don't plan on getting anything done that week, but that is how it is. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you had a good time. Hope your game dev is going well. Hope things are going well for you. Hope you're playing lots of fun games, and hope your life is going good. See you all next time.